It's hot.
Oh, totally hot. Welcome to the first Rift live stream of two. Oh my God!
I just realized it wasn't on.
V-Star in here.
Wait, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse.
Anyway, let's try that again. Welcome to another one. Would
We
you
are a
stop doing
strange
that?
form of vampire that can't handle fluorescent lights.
For the third time, welcome to the first Rift live stream of 2018.
God, I
I'm
don't think
Brasse
they
the
need
Dwarf.
it back.
Joining me today, Dead Simon, some dude who works on, I don't know, content and things. And that dude,
Whose
Captain
hard drive
Cursor,
just crashed
who is
and
here
I'm feeling
because
very
he had
sad.
to not talk about Rift through all the holidays and he just can't.
I needed to talk about lore. I started annoying my friends by just typing stuff out in, social media.
Yeah.
Filling up their space. I told me to stop.
Social media, scary thing. We're just getting into the swing of things. We've all noticed that half of Silicon Valley and half of our office is still out on PTO, which means that I had a record-setting 1 hour and 10-minute commute this morning. That's insane. That'll never
45
happen.
minutes. It was awesome.
That's. We should
Usually
do this
2
all
hours.
the time. So, dear Silicon Valley,
I
can the rest of you please work from
bugger
home?
off and leave us alone.
We like this short commute thing.
I have a 15-minute commute.
Oh, shut up.
It is so glorious. Oh my God. Of all the stressful things in my life, and there are a legion, that one,
Couple of housekeeping things. We do know that some of you have not yet received your Extra Life rewards. That's because Extra Life actually goes until December 31st. Also, CM Morgana is one of those people who's still on vacation. When she gets back in next Monday, that's her first
People
course of action
taking
is to
vacation.
follow up. I know. What's this PTO stuff
I
that
don't
we
know.
keep hearing of? Did you work over the break? I did. Did you work over the break? Well, shut up then. To be perfectly honest, after about 3 days off, I get kind of antsy and I have to do stuff.
I had, a whole family descended on us. So just to answer a few questions.
Yes.
Tent on the roof? What? That sounds like...
with
only
Bay Area
filthy
housing
houses.
prices, that's
tent on
not
the-
such a
It's
weird
not such
thing
good-
to do.
Yeah.
Might do that, yes. I'll be renting out tents in my yard this summer. There you go.
There
Bring your own
were
porta
a few
potty.
questions about Tenevian Trouble, aka Tox 2. It's not ready for testing yet. When it is, I'll put some feelers out for some people. And I'm going to use different people. So, Bo, sorry.
Bo's are gonna have to work for it.
Yeah, you're going to have to work for it next time.
Wow.
No, dude, he worked.
Yeah, I know.
He and Dior worked like crazy to make Tox what it was. So, but it's just only fair I use some other people. So I will put some feelers out when it's ready. But it's just not ready right now.
Well, speaking
It's pretty awesome, but it's still not ready.
I know that a lot of people are wondering when we're going to get the download or the down low on what we're doing for 2018, and we need to have the entire team in before Arconics can start working with people and figure out a proper sequence of events. So that ain't happening
is
yet.
So cynical.
We
No,
didn't. What was the so cynical?
Did you cancel the challenge servers yet?
Oh, yet. Then
Yeah.
Cheeky bugger.
I don't know. You want to flip a coin? No, we'll get you guys information as soon as we can.
I'm not
Arconics
saying
is
it
also
doesn't
still
get-
on
shit doesn't
vacation.
get cancelled, it does.
Oh yeah, sure. Stuff does get canceled. Stuff gets rearranged. Stuff gets reworked. We've seen that throughout our gaming careers. Another interesting thing that I learned this morning that I didn't know before, because I'm not the world's fastest typist. I'm fairly wordy. Therefore, it takes me a long time to get a message out. And this morning there was a thread on the forums which said, "So how come it keeps telling me that I'm chatting too much?" Apparently, this was really interesting for me to find out. I've been playing this game since beta, and I just found out that every time you send a chat message in any channel, it counts as 1 point. You get 3 points in 40 seconds. If you exceed that, then you don't get to chat for a bit. So it's about 13 seconds per message. So
So what it basically
never
says
hits
is, hey,
that.
shut up, blabbermouth.
yeah, it's like, take a breath.
Public channels.
Yes, public channels. Take a breath, or, I don't know, let the other guy get a word in edgewise? Maybe so. So if you're just typing spam and just repeating it, then yes, it's going to time you out. So that was yes, fast fingers discrimination. It's
Totally.
it's to give me more of an opportunity to talk because I'm slow.
It's for the people who type like this to keep up.
I actually do use most of my fingers. Okay. So we want to move into the first thing we want to do is the.
What is this Yarret thing?
Oh yes. Oh, good thing you brought that up too.
No, I didn't bring it up.
Oh, they
I
brought
saw
that
it
up?
brought
Okay,
up.
Yarret
Yeah.
is the thing that some people use. It's a third-party add-on, and it helps you track where events are in the game and what status they're at. You know, so for instance, if it says, hey, the twisted artifact or unstable artifacts are live in
Unstable artifacts are going all the time.
Silverwood
as
in...
far as I
they
know.
are. But normally, that's what I use, and I just go over to wherever the event is taking place. You know, whatever zone event's going on. But with Yarret, it'll tell you how much time is left in the event too. So the people who are all about min-maxing, which again isn't me, I'm too busy role-playing to do any min-maxing, they will wait until an unstable artifact event is almost over, rush over there, grab one or two, the event finishes, they get their reward, they run to the next event. Anyway, so the reason we're talking about
Can we
Yarret...
just keep it down then? Because they're the people that come and kill the boss before I can frickin' get to it after I've closed about 400,000 frickin' rifts to make it spawn.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's...
Yarret's never coming back. You heard it here first, folks.
Done. Okay. No, that we do not yet have a solution. It's still working on the EU. It is not working in North America, and there are people looking at it, but I can't give you an ETA yet. Anyway, it's all very funny. And now we're going to talk about the ugly sweater contest. And there is a public service announcement before that. What?
I was going to try and wear an ugly sweater, but I
actually-
live in... It's pretty ugly.
I know, right? We
But
live
we
in
live
California.
in California.
I don't own any
I'm
sweaters.
sorry, rest of the country, but it's
I know.
65 outside
See,
right now, so I'm really
New
sorry.
New Year's
You're
Day, I was at the beach.
freezing your asses off, but hey, you should live
For
in
those of
California.
you who are really freezing, I moved down here I moved to the U.S. from Canada because I got tired of shoveling 12 feet of snow every year, all right? But I remember Canada well, so all these people on the weather reports freak out, oh, what do you hear about this polar ice bomb, cyclone, disaster, apocalypse thing? And I'm going, it's winter, people. It's winter. Anybody who lives in this area or those areas has probably seen winter before.
I do. Hey, Rob, I do want to look at the zone event bosses. We keep having to revisit them. The power curve is a complicated thing. And even though we do a bunch of things to the zone event boss to make it so that the really high level overpowered people don't just kill it in 30 seconds, we need to revisit that and rebalance again because
We have some ideas.
we do.
Okay. Are we finally ready to get back on track and do what we're supposed to be talking? You have something else to say?
I've always got something to say.
We can just talk here, but I think we should.
No,
show
come on,
the
let's
game.
do this.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
You're
First
showing
thing,
it. Oh, there it
public
is.
service
Ooh.
announcement. Name reclaim. All right, your name is important.
I gotta do that.
If
I did it already.
All right, good people. So the important thing to know is that we are going to claim back the names of any character who has not logged in for an entire year as of January 31st, 2018. So if you've logged in all of your characters, that's fine, but you might have some alts that you rarely play. Do yourself a favor, log your alts in before January 31st, because January 31st is it. That is the deadline. Any character that has not been logged in for a full year prior to that is going to have the name removed. Now, what happens? Your character is still there, but the next time you try to log in, it's definitely still there. We would never do that to you. But the next time you log in with your character, if your name has been claimed back, you'll have to change it upon logging in. So that's going to be tough. No, you can't have Captain Cursor.
No,
He
I'm
will
gonna
come,
log in.
He'll come
all
looking
of
for
them.
you. Yeah.
Besides, I don't actually play as Captain Cursor in my actual characters.
No, I won't do that.
Okay. Right. Y'all done now? Now we're going to talk about the
You
Rift
invited
Ugly
us
Sweater.
here.
You're like, we need people to
There
talk
was
about
nobody
nothing.
else in office, all right?
Oh my god, I feel so loved now.
I'm the
Oh,
last
Jesus
one
Christ.
chosen.
Exactly. It's like
No. Actually,
you came round scraping. Oh god, these losers. I
These
guess
two are fine.
you know what? There is still so much time left in 2018. I don't know how I'm going to survive it.
Oh, we can get
We're off to a
Rough
good
Raptors
start.
to eat spicy noodles.
We could. Okay, so the Rift Ugly Sweater Costume Contest. As you guys know, a lot of the contests that are run by members of our player community, and this particular one is put out by variously known as Madara or Madara Blackgetsuga or Blackgetsuga 12, whatever. Thank you so much for reminding us of how wonderful Christmas outfits can be. No, this picture isn't ugly. That's my character wearing my awesome little corgi sweater. So anyway, so we've got the winners here. First, I just want to mention that Try-On Creators is a great place for any of our more creative community members to go to. It'll enable you to talk to Moby to get prizes for various costumes and events that you might be having. And so here we are, the judges for this year's contest, so that you cannot complain to us about who got picked and who didn't get picked. These happen to be Try-On Creators as well. Kalari Cuddles and Clemmykins.
That's your blame slide.
That's the blame slide, yeah. See these people if you disagree. Anyway, and again, thank you by Madara Blackgetsuga. I really
Maddie.
want... Maddie, is that what we're going
Maddie.
to call her? Okay, so... one day, I want to get the whole story of how you came up with that super, super long name. Meanwhile, in fifth place, Zine at Typheria. Now, that's not even a bad Christmas sweater. I think a lot of people would approve of that, right?
That's a quite festive.
That's quite festive, actually, and color coordinated
I like it.
and
What's
stuff.
with the Band-Aid on it? Oh no, that's a piece of confetti.
No,
Those are those gumdrops. That's the gumdrop
The
levitation
gumdrop
mount.
levitation.
Mhm.
I know. No, but there's bits. I thought it was a Band-Aid on it. I was going, when did we have that?
Well,
Well,
you know.
Ascended don't generally get
We need
injured.
some broken arms.
Blackgetsuga says, ask me on Twitter. It's a very easy answer. Well, let's pause on this. Why don't you tell us in the chat, and I'll read it out, where you got your name from. Forbidden Lake says, Maddie is a Bleach anime nerd. Oh, well, that's interesting. That's probably where it comes from, then. That's Bleach I'm not familiar with.
You're not familiar
Okay,
with
we're
Come on,
gonna have
Maddie.
to wait
Oh,
for,
Maddie
like,
is a he. Okay, so while we're waiting for that, we're going to go to the fourth place. In fourth place, Holy Roller at Deepwood. Okay, you ready? Y'all ready for this?
I'm ready for this.
That
Ooh.
That's pretty good.
That's
That
pretty darn
is
good.
a gumdrop warrior.
Yep, that
and
is.
those leggings. That's just
I love the shoulders on this one. It looks like sort of crusty, nasty icing. Really matches what's going on the weapon as well.
And I
think
love
that's
the
really
gumdrop. I know they're not supposed to be gumdrops. I don't think, or are they? On the knees.
Cool. But they look like gumdrops.
They
Very
do?
well done.
There you go.
Oh, Madara Uchiha from Naruto, and Blackgetsuga is from Bleach, which is another anime. There you go. So Maddie, Madara Blackgetsuga is a guy, and now we know where that name comes from. Yes, I agree with Frizzwin. The leggings make that outfit.
No, they don't.
Oh no, come on, they do.
Well,
Remember,
yeah,
this
I
is
guess
the
so.
ugly
You're right. You're
ugly?
right. They
Okay,
do.
ugly.
They are
Right.
freaking horrible.
Somebody designed them here. Which artist did you just insult?
I don't know. I insult the
No, the
artists.
artists design them for one purpose, and the community can push them to another purpose. And that's
That
what
is
I
the
like.
amazing thing. That's why when I saw these, when Maddie sent these images in, I thought, oh my god, I never would have thought about using the outfits like that. So in third place, ready? Sudden Mist at Greybriar. Look at that.
Oh,
Now we're getting somewhere. Now,
God.
what is that headpiece?
That is the Angry Snowman headpiece. I love
Dyed
that.
yellow so that it looks like
And he
gingerbread
scaled it up.
cookie man.
Yeah, he
That's
used
some
the...
clever piece. I just do not like the cod piece though. What the heck is that about?
No. That's what makes it.
Because those look like bare legs under the cod piece.
I just
And
didn't
Yes.
realize we.
really highlights the
God.
sweater when you got nothing on the legs to distract from it, doesn't it? I'm not sure if we can unsee this one.
I can't.
When
unsee
I
that.
saw this one, I thought, I have never seen anything. It looks like a giant yellow gingerbread poop just landed on this guy's head.
That's pretty much.
Bag of Wayne says ate too much. Bag of Wine says ate too much yellow snow. Mm-hmm. Yes. Entirely possible.
Yes.
So that's in third place. So here we go. Here we go.
That's really good.
In
Wow,
second
that was-
place, Infranto at Fablight. There you go.
Oh.
Look at those.
That's
Now, I
cool.
had to
I like
leave, the little snow kitty was in all of these pictures, but I cropped it out for the side and back view so that we could get a better look at the outfit. I think this one wins for sheer power of color combination.
Oh,
Like, I am not
God.
sure, shouldn't we have some sort of special override to prevent the most hideous colors from being used together?
we actually went the opposite way.
Yeah, we did. The artists lobbied hard to not let us.
To not let you use some of
Yeah.
those
do all
bright
this,
colors?
But we just
But then,
figured
no.
that, you know what, the players should be allowed to
Rift
do what
artists,
they want.
look away. Just look away.
We actually recently changed how we dye things and the process
So
of
we
that
could
to
make
make
it
it
even-
more vivid.
Yeah.
So Friswood, I think, sums this up well. Love the Snow Kitty. That outfit is bilious. That's
Hard on the eyes, I would agree.
A little hard,
That is
yeah.
really
It's
hard
not
on
that
the
hard
eyes.
at the eyes. I used to work for Wired, though.
yeah. Well, what I do really like about this outfit and what really makes it for me is the foot gear. It looks like those fuzzy slippers that we get for Christmas a lot. Mm-hmm.
Oh, those are the werewolf feet.
Yeah,
Yep.
but they're the fuzzy slipper feet. That's
Okay.
what we need next Christmas.
Oh,
Big
with
fuzzy
Big
slippers.
fuzzy slipper feet.
Oh, that
Green
ears.
scale fuzzy slippers.
Okay.
Ears.
All right.
Just say ears.
Ears, slippers.
Have you seen? No.
Have I seen what?
The latest experiments that we were doing.
No, I haven't seen the latest experiments that we're doing. Are you allowed to talk about it?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Too bad. Okay, ready for the first place? First place in this amazing contest, which will scar our eyeballs forever, Mr. Angryface at High Law. There
Oh,
it is.
wow.
Whoa.
I mean, whoa.
Wow.
Yeah,
I like he's
yeah.
all alued out. That is the ugliest.
I think
That
I
is
think
Wow.
that this is
Vomit
the
inducing.
worst, meaning the
Wow.
best that I have seen for years. I think even Ren can't outdo this, and she tries really hard. Every time we log in together to
Where
play,
did
she goes,
those
"Do you like my outfit?"
I like those mittens. Where did they
Yeah.
go?
Those
I didn't
that,
even know
now
we
are
had
those
mittens.
oven mitts?
I don't know.
Who knows
I
what
didn't
those
even know
mittens
we had
are?
those. People find
Or
stuff.
they
I had no idea
claws?
It's we
Are
have
they deep one claws?
no.
Oh no, I think they are.
No, they
mittens.
could be. I think they're claws.
Oh, come on, you wardrobe people! What are those mittens? This yeah, Mr. Angryface should be banned. Yes.
Ice watch mittens.
Ice watch mittens. There
Okay,
you go.
okay.
Awesome.
Okay, but anyway, yeah, this
Wow,
this wins for being hideous, having a horrific headpiece, and absolutely no color matching whatsoever. That looks like what you wear the night after the Christmas party that the company puts out or something. So that's a very, very worthy winner. Congratulations.
That is really hideous.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks very much for that. Now we're going to exit out of this, press the escape button, and we can go into game, and Dead Simon can start talking about stuff while I ask some
No,
questions.
seriously, if you're going to make me drive,
No.
I can't drive and
He's gonna
talk.
drive. I'm gonna
If
just
I
babble
drive
on.
and talk.
Oh, yeah.
just
Yeah.
Shit
Simon's going to
happens.
drive. He's going to stomp all over you people with his big, bony, nasty feet.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
Didn't I already
where'd your
have it
game
right?
go?
No, it's there.
What'd you do with
It's
that?
there.
Slight pause while we fix that.
Boink.
All right, so-
There we go. I
I-
love that mace.
I know.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like-
let's
it's like
let's
prawn
just look
mace.
at let's just look at this for right now because this is such a beautiful
yeah,
mace.
I still need to actually
Look at that.
And it is in the game. There's no way.
we
they-
make-
Oh yeah,
Can we
it's
make-
in the game for people who are not me.
Arm.
just
Yeah.
can't
Can you
get it.
remind
It's in the game.
people?
You just have
You
to,
just-
solve a billion puzzles, and
No.
they're all
No.
on a big chain, and they're connected,
I'll-
and there's a million artifact things.
I've just been. It's just,
Whatever.
juggling a lot of things.
It's
I will make it so that you can get them.
oh really?
Yeah, I thought it would be kind of fair to make it so you could
Mhm.
actually get them.
So that normal mortals like me can get them?
No.
No.
I hate you so much. Okay, so go into game. I'm gonna
Yeah,
start.
I'm just
oh,
going to go and just kill people.
Yeah,
Just-
and give
I
out
haven't done it
eternal
for a
items
while.
with that.
Well, yes.
I did a couple of those over the holiday break as well, but I need to get back in the flow too. We got to get a few more of those eternal items and
I've got
artifacts
it,
out
which
there.
reminds me. I got.
You gotta what?
Anyone got a note?
I have a
Make a
notepad.
note for me to go and ask Zach about
Ask Zach.
concepting me a awesome outfit to give away in Tox 2. Right. Okay. What was I doing? I have no
You were gonna go squish
idea.
people.
Oh, that's right.
I'm going to
Wait a
murder.
minute. Let me just. I
What-
hate
what
this
server
mouse.
are you
What is
on?
this? Just a second. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
Note has been made. Also, the whispery
Yeah, I'm on
thing.
North America right now. I think. Yes, I am. I'm on.
Dirtwood.
I'm on Derpwood. Okay, I like it. Derpwood.
Dirtwood.
I'm not going to do it here. Let's go. Where shall I go?
He's the most indecisive
I
man
was going to play
ever.
Dutch Wilds.
Oh yeah, then
I
I,
love
can
playing
jump
Dutch
really
Wilds.
high.
Uh,
Whee! Let's
okay,
go
so let me
here.
just. Okay, so Cloud81 wants to know, Regulus, is he still lurking somewhere in the cosmos? Is he?
Regulos is not lurking, but there's always bits of him, which caused the whole problem to begin with. I do like the direction that we've been taking about once we kill folks, we move on. I would love to explore the legacy of what
Except Crucia.
Except Crucial. Well, she hasn't been killed.
Right.
Well, really. Her mind's always there.
Yeah.
But I would love to explore what fills the vacuum after the dragons are each killed. We killed Lathis, and then we got the Architects. We killed Mailforge, and then the Tenebrians used that as a way of rallying infernal forces. And that is really what interests me. Although I would love to do more exploration, and since we often do stuff that are back in time or flashbacks, more about Regulos and kind of fill in some knowledge gaps about that. So why not both?
All right, that's a good one. I have a few questions for you myself. We've talked briefly. I'm going to completely abuse my position of being here right now. We've talked briefly in the past about the origin of the dwarves. Are we ever going to get more into that?
I would love to do the origin of the dwarves.
I'm on Deepwood.
I think that they are. What is up with that moth?
We got sunk.
We've done kind of dives into the various different races in Rift. Ember Isle was all about the Kalari. The Plane Dutch Wilds, we got the Bommy. We've got a little bit of the Elves in the Plane of Life, even though that was kind of more on the Tuatha. I would love to do a big thing about the dwarves. We did a bit with Hammernell, so I think there was a little bit of, and I know you think this is possible, dwarf fatigue. But I would love to go a deep dig, shall we say.
A deep dig.
Into the origin of the dwarves.
We did it with the
dwarf, I
Barmy,
love that.
I mean, hey, that's where we are right now.
Yeah.
We've learned a lot about the Barmy.
Following up on Regulus a little bit, Cloud also asked, knowledge gaps for Regulus and the Ward and Orpheal would be interesting.
Orpheal, yes.
Orpheal's a very strange character.
He is.
I mean, he really hops around. Can you talk a little bit more about
do we
him?
have to talk about Orpheal?
Oh, you don't like him?
The only thing I'd like to do with Orpheal is stab him in the eye.
Wait, okay.
I do kick him every time I make a new Guardian when testing stuff. There's that one place where he's getting his orders from Adraxis, and he shows up and he kind of chastises you, and you can kick him in the butt, and so I always do. I find that really fun. I did have a lot of fun writing for Orpheal for Vostgar Peaks, and even though it seems like we'd be moving on and not doing much with Orpheal, I have a plan for digging more into his backstory and all of his
really convoluted
timeline.
Well, I will admit that of all of the iconic characters in Rift, Orpheal is the one I like the least. I just find him personally annoying, and I.
Wait. No, hold on. I have a question. I have a question.
Okay.
Orpheal and Silver and Silver got less annoying than Orpheal?
Silver's all right. He's just a doofus.
Yeah, he's a doofus.
Okay.
So my question to both of you is, what iconic character in Rift do you dislike the most? Like, who do you really? Oh God, I have to deal with this person again.
I think that
Orpheal for you, yeah.
If I dislike someone, I don't deal with them.
Oh, okay.
So then they stop becoming iconic because I'm not putting them in the story.
So who have you sort of slid off to the side because you found them infernally annoying? Tassuil, yeah.
No. I'll actually second that. When he's in his dragon form and getting in my face, I know you did some clever things to shrink it. It was just like, dude.
Okay, come on, fess up. Who have you sort of written out of the script? It's
Who
like
have
what
I
happens in
written
TV series.
I
Who are we
had
not
a bunch
hearing
of
about?
Guardians. So when I came on, when I became one of the co-lore leads back in the days before launch, we were trying to furiously make progress on stuff, and I wrote a whole bunch of characters because that's what we were doing. We were just trying to like brainstorm and get stuff in, and I wrote a whole bunch of characters, and half of them just did not have any traction. There's a couple of them you see in Moonshade that are supposed to be big name characters, and you never see them.
Mm-hmm.
And if the people in the pods didn't have much love for them because they couldn't find stuff on it, and I didn't find a way to like redeem them and make them really worthwhile, then maybe they're not someone that is that interesting. And I could have done a better job back then.
Okay.
I have really loved doing stuff with Shyla, even though I think a lot of people did not like Shyla initially. They wanted her to be more active and fighting, and I kept wanting to bring her back to someone who would say that, hey, maybe the solution to all the problems is not to punch people in the face. And I'd also love picking up on where Morgan, Miss Dooncookie, took Shyla in the romance between her and Atrophinius.
Mhm.
I thought that was an
Well,
interesting take.
There's
that
an
I
interesting
really
artifact set based on that.
Yes.
And that actually leads me to the next question, which is, which character have you enjoyed writing about the most, or for Simon, which character do you enjoy working with the most? There's gotta be
My
one.
favorite character. I've got a lot, but I would have to say if you were to, hold me down and tell me who
If
your
it was
favorite is.
you get to
it
write
would-
the
it
next
would
story
be-
for this character.
It would be
who-
Uriel.
Uriel.
Yeah.
What
She
and why is that?
because she is just the consummate enthusiastic scientist. She just has this thing in her head that she wants to know all about death, of course. And she's going to go and do what it takes to find out about it. It's got her in trouble a few times. But I love the voice acting on Uriel. It's just something really sweet about her as well.
I have to admit that when we have the opportunity to include voice in game, that does affect my perception of characters.
Yeah, I love the interaction between Uriel and Kira as well. Although I have to say, not being too well, no, I'm going to be mean.
Okay, be mean.
I think the voice acting on Kira is horrible.
Well, no, that's the whole
That's
thing,
just
is that
the way it
everyone
was.
has opinions, just like the
I
players
has
have opinions,
opinions.
which they totally let us know about
Yeah.
all the time. And believe me, we're listening because we have our own opinions here too. So, Captain Cursor, who is your favorite character? Who do you want to write about more than any other?
So over the break, one of my favorite Twitter riff people, Defiant Bug, started playing again and posting about what they were going through. And I was like, oh my god, you're posting some stuff that Finric said. And I loved writing some of the things that Finric said. It was so wrong, but weird.
Oh,
And
Finric was cool.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Really trying to get into the head of what a creature who was from a different plane and was trying to do good would view things as. And
I do
the
remember
monstrous
you
things about the
laughing a
skeleton.
lot while you were writing stuff. for
It was
Drumheim.
great, and I
And-
put down like, oh my god, this is my favorite stuff. And then they clicked on some of the Gar Station number broadcasts, and I'm like, no, wait, that's my favorite stuff. I loved writing
Mhm.
these little lore
Just
snippets about stuff
not
that wasn't
playing
in
Final.
game but was in the world, and that was my favorite stuff. And now we're in Plain Touched Wilds, and I'm remembering about all the conversations between Carr and Ushakel, and you know what? That was kind of my favorite stuff. And
Usakel is my favorite character.
I
She's-
really liked
Yeah.
Ushakel.
She's lovely as well.
Yeah, yeah,
But I mean, she's. I guess I quite like the Barney.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah, they're
and
fun.
so it often is. I have many favorites, and sometimes I just need to be reminded about which ones I was having fun with at the time. So I'm going to go with my favorite is whatever I write next because I want that to be my favorite.
Okay. Now we're going to go to the chat for a bunch of questions now. I had to scroll up a little bit for this one. Yukayami wants to know: do most Fora animals have magical speech, or do they have speech impediments due to a lack of lips?
I
you
have
go.
not written. That's a very a technical thing. I have not written them as if they have a speech impediment due to lack of lips. So let's go with the fact that they are magical.
I can't
Okay.
type in there. Deepwood. I'm on Deepwood.
Oh,
But
you're on Deepwood.
I like a.
I lost my mouse.
I like thinking about that and how they would talk. I've concentrated mostly on their outlook on life, like how would the hedgehogs think about an impending catastrophe versus squirrels, and how
Right.
would they think about it
Right.
versus
You have a
wolves
strange life.
or whatnot.
Best.
I didn't do much with the speech impediment because reading that sometimes is hard to communicate with just text.
Agreed.
But I like thinking that. So that's an interesting question.
Okay, so
Finric,
always blame
Finric
rabbit.
starts male and becomes female.
Question is Finric he or she?
Mhm.
Like all Skelfs,
Yep.
they are all born he's, and when they become in charge and they ascend to the leader of a school or a group, they become she's. And that is the life cycle of it. I patterned that off of Clownfish, actually.
Yes.
And
Which
I
is
thought that
really
was an
amazing.
interesting take. Again, trying to
'Cause he is
see how
basically a
another
fish.
creature that was not a mammal and would exist and
It's mouse.
how that works. In fact, going back to the other conversation about reminding me of great things,
I'm just gonna-
the
They're
line,
probably gonna.
the dialogue, in effect, was when Finric said that, "Hey, why don't you go to this party? I'm gonna lay secret clutches of eggs all over, and whisper their locations to jacks I like."
Yeah.
So
It looks like Finric has a lot of fans in the game too.
Finric
So
looks cool.
here's a good question for you. Crucia seems to have mechanical wings on the end of organic limbs. Did she lose her original ones? If so, how?
So one of the kind of, as we were trying to figure out the what was each plane was about, air was always hard to represent because of its ephemeralness. So we started to do more with metal in it. And if you look at the different ways classical elements are represented, I think it's in the classical Chinese elements, they don't have an air element, they have metal. So we kind of subsumed metal into what was air and made it very lightning based. So even though you would think metal is a very earthen element, we used it more to represent the conductivity of lightning.
Right.
So that's one reason why there's so much metal in the Storm Legion and so much metal with Crucia. So I would say that she has augmented her wings with metal and to be more damaging and to be more, that's part of her so she can control the lightning.
That's great. I just want to address one thing. One, I find it hilarious to listen to him mumbling to himself as he's fighting here. Number two, there have been people asking questions about PvP and classes and all this sort of stuff. None of us three works on those things, so we're only able to
I would
answer
be
questions.
happy to
He'd
talk
be happy
all
to
about.
talk.
No. I can talk all about the lore of the different conquest factions.
There
but
you
that
go.
just makes people angry.
Yeah, so that's why we have, anytime that we put up a post about the live stream coming up, we'll tell you in advance what we're talking about. Ugly sweater contest, lore, Simon killing people in exchange for eternal items. So here we are. So King's Tailor asks, what happened to Samek from the Shadow from Beyond Chronicle?
She is going to return. I wanted to try to see in Nightmare Tide. I floated this first idea of Tenebrians, and because we were running out of dragons, and when you
killed
make
them all.
Yeah, we did, and when you make a nice system like that for the different elements, each having a dragon, that was great for the starting game. but as they were killed, the question then becomes, what else do we fight? And internally, we had for Storm Legion, we had floated so many different ideas until we brought it back to being Crucia and Regulus. But it was a real trouble in figuring out who we're going to stab in the face next, and do I know these people? And
We're gonna stab in the face.
no, because
I like
that is because getting a villain, getting a big bag for these things is someone who players legitimately want and have every right to stab in the face until dead and take their things.
Okay.
That is the joy of an MMO.
Well, that is what an MMO
All
is.
right,
But
pretty
there's
much,
also
pretty
a
much.
story element of feeling like you know who they are and feeling like it's a greater threat than you fought before.
Did you stop the scroll on this?
I did because
Yeah.
I wanted to stop at the questions.
So
at the questions.
Well, I bet you.
So the next
So
question
when,
from
no, I'm not. I'm
oh,
not. I'm
see,
not
that's the
even
problem.
close to
I
done.
need okay.
I'm not even close
Next
to done.
next lore stream, we're gonna get a freaking egg timer,
Yeah.
and we're gonna
Imagine what
time
it's
it.
like sitting next to this
So,
guy.
so I had to make sure that people had some familiarity of, hey, I remember who that guy is, or I remember who that woman is, and where they belong and everything. And I don't know if people responded to things well, because sometimes I'm like, oh,
It's this new god from the Chaos Realm.
like, I have no idea who it is. What are you just throwing this stuff in? So I put in some references to Tenebrians, and people seem to really like it. So that's when we started going all out with like Teth and Anket and all that, because we tested this idea that these powerful ascended beings from beyond the universe were coming as a threat. And so that was Semek's role. See, hey, do people like this? They seem to respond, and now they kind of know who they are, so now we can go all in with it. So yes, she's probably coming back, because that was not a
Okay.
actual
Wow,
threat.
that could have been the answer.
Yes.
But no, why do you come into a lore stream
No,
for
no,
a
no.
yes answer?
No,
no, I
totally,
love it.
totally
Thank
get it.
you.
I love
Is
it
she
too.
coming back?
It's why I love the lore stream,
Next
because we get so much.
question.
Next question. Yukiami asked, Greenscale's name is very anglicized comparative to his mates and siblings' names. Is this his true name? And if so, why is his name in English or common Talaran?
I think that Greenscale didn't care what you called him as
Long as you
fed
fed him. Exactly.
Jinx, buy me a
Mizuki Ayu asks,
Oh.
No!
nothing to see here. Please carry on.
So, whenever this happens, we're going to remind people that for Simon to get in there and do Dead Simon, he has to log in on the dev client, which doesn't necessarily have the memory protections that the normal client does, and so sometimes runs out of crashes.
Disclaimer.
So
disclaimer.
sad, so
Okay,
sad,
I
so
will,
sad.
It's all right.
Meanwhile-
it'll take me a moment to.
Meanwhile, Mizuki Ayu wants to know, Ascended can channel Source Stone power into something. Oh, whoa, where did that go? That was way up here. What suddenly happened?
golly.
Oh, Mizuki! Oh, wait, can
There it
transfer
is, there it is,
power
there it
into
is.
something.
Does this mean they can channel it out of something or someone?
I think we might have done stuff like that for quests, because again, in kind of
Wait a
a.
minute. Am I now on a different shard? Just a second.
Oh, you got to go back to Dirtwood.
I am. I'm going back. I'm going back.
Back
Okay.
to Dirtwood.
Yes, they can. They are adept at moving the source powers, the source energy, the source soul
Okay.
around easily, and it has actually taken me. What is this? 8 years I've been on this? 9? It's almost a
A
decade.
long
And I think I
time.
have
No,
figured
dude.
out exactly the mechanics of how Source works in a very defiant way,
Smart.
where I could describe to you the physics of it.
It's
Okay.
my 9 year
We
So
can
yes.
switch back to the game now, pretty please, Mr.
Oh,
Cole.
sorry. Yeah. I'm back.
And I'm
back.
scared to
Okay,
ask
stuff.
this one because
Uh-oh.
I have this feeling that Captain Cursor can go on for about 3.5 hours, and
I
we
can.
don't have that much time. But Poshi wants to know, what is the lore for the Eternal Item Quest? Does this tie into the main story?
Oh, you're gonna have to.
Best answer ever.
The eternal items are Tenebrian weapons, and they actually connect with Tux, but I don't necessarily have everything completely formed out.
Lightning round now.
Lightning
round.
round.
Okay,
Okay.
because we have to do our giveaways and
And
get
I still
off
got to
of
go
here.
to. Well, I guess
Yep,
I'll go.
and
I'll go
Simon
to.
will
I'll
get-
go to EU at my desk
Right,
after.
and I will
Right.
do EU in North America later today too. Okay, so lightning round. Cloud asks, did you know that Orpheol would be extraterrestrial when you first created him, or did he evolve into a Tenebrian later on?
When he was first created, I don't think the plan was for him to be Tenebrian, because that was done before the Tenebrians even existed. Partially, he became one because I wanted something to do with him that was interesting. And sometimes when you create a character for a specific purpose, it morphs later on when you have more of a clear idea about what would be interesting for you as the creator and where their place is in the story. And Orpheol had sat in his tower for like 3 or 4 years without doing anything.
Ungly's Pod. Was there a hint in the there was a hint in the Tarkin Glacier questline that we might end up teaming up with Regulus to fight the Tenebrians because they were so strong. Is that going anywhere?
I would love to take that some more places. It probably wouldn't necessarily be Regulus, and would more be on Team Ida, who has a great plan to get rid of the Tenebrians. It just requires killing off all mortal life.
Okay. And Yukiyami posts, in the introductory movie where a Kalarian Bommy chase a Mathosian to a rift tear, we see the Bommy change roles and summon his new gear. This implies soul binding is not just a mechanic in game. Are soul-bound items usable by non-ascended? Can any item be soul-bound to an ascended?
Well, any item can be soulbound to an ascended because you can't trade it once you soulbind it.
Come on, person.
The movie opening. I mean, there's problems with that movie opening because the guy with the spear is obviously a ranger and he's using a two-handed weapon. Maybe he's an early primalist.
Okay.
Nope,
this is lightning
okay,
round.
lightning
So
round.
Mizuki
Sorry.
Ayu.
I'll talk to you later on Twitter about
Come on,
that.
There you
person
go.
who won. Oh.
So why do the source-drained humanoids in Vostagar look like they were wearing Crush's outfit?
Because they're wearing the metal of the Storm Legion, and those are all Storm Legion soldiers.
Okay.
And that when the energy, when the source decay energy has come out of them, that is kind of what remains of their uniform.
Okay.
No,
And last question: is it true that Orpheol created Anket?
He didn't create her, but he did tutor her at some point in time.
Okay, that is interesting. I actually did not know that.
And he also he came up with the idea of how to win her over to the Tenebrian side, because Anket was the last challenge the Tenebrians faced before they gained dominion over their entire universe.
Okay.
I don't know. Whoever won it has not looted it because I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay. So you guys, whoever's on Dead Simon's case over there, I hope somebody looted that. We haven't seen that come up in the chat.
It'll be
Anyway,
in your,
we are going
Rift
to
loot.
we are going to have our prize draws now. If you have said anything in the chat channel in the last 40 minutes, that is absolutely
Pretty
fine.
much the entire stream.
Yes, the entire stream. And so you don't have to X up or anything, but here we go.
Go on, it's
First, we're
always
going to
looking
give
for that.
away 3 30-day patron
Am
codes.
I sure the crash didn't break it? You know what? You
may be right.
be right.
He may have to run
I
it
may
again.
have to run it again. I
All right.
will. I will. As soon as this stream is over, I'll run it again. You know what? I think you're right. I think the
Okay.
crash busticated it.
Busticated. Crash.
They suck.
They really suck. I wish you'd do something about that.
On the dev client,
You know
that
Okay,
is-
so the Rift
know what?
that
30-day
is like
patrons
priority
go to...
709.
Yeah, it's not high priority to fix.
Well, start putting those priorities together because we need to get a producer's letter out this month to let people know what we're doing. So if there are 700 priorities on that list, I'm really curious. Okay, 30-day patron passes go to Shanoa
We should
HK,
just publish our giant
Mystic
cryptic.
Wizard AA, and Moonrain. So those are 30-day patron passes for Rift.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. We are also going to give away 3 of the Bagling mounts because Fay Yule is still running.
Those
And
mounts
it
are awesome.
ends this week. It ends on the 11th. So, and these Bagling mounts are the most hilarious things. I get so much mileage out of them. That may or may not be a pun. So here we go. The 30-day, or the 3 Bagling mounts. Cole, if you would roll those, please.
Yep.
3. And only because Arconix isn't here, so all right. And then we're going to clear out of here so that the Trove guys can get set up. First Bagling mount goes to Sergeant Dimples. Congratulations. It is the
Congratulations
coolest darn
on your
thing.
dimples. And for
On
being
your-
promoted
on your
from Corporal Dimples.
Jeez. Second Bagling mount goes to Imlusky.
I'm Lusky.
I'm Lusky.
I'm
I'm
Lusky
Lusky.
too.
All right. And the third one goes to, you should say this in your proper booming voice.
Baron von Boom!
Yeah, this is why I like to sit way far away from Captain Cursor.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us for this impromptu lore stream.
Woohoo!
Next week, I'm going to be at PAX South. Hit me up for a beer if you're at PAX South. So these guys will have to run a stream on their own. I think Yavier will come back to guest host it and try to keep them under control. And stay tuned for Trove. See you next week. Or no, they'll see you next week. Somebody will see you next
Someone
week.
will see that.
I'll buy you a beer at PAX South. How's that?
I have
Thank
to log
you.
off this one and get on
Bye, everyone.
Okay,
my
bye.
other, so I'll be back in a few.